Anime is a lot more mainstream than what it was a while ago. I just want to start out acknowledging that. And this is coming from me who makes anime videos for fun, so it sounds kinda sketch, I'm not gonna lie. I'm almost 200 videos deep just talking about anime in under a year, but I think I just really like anime. I don't think I'm a weeb though. Even someone calling themselves a weeb just sounds cringe to me. Like treating watching anime as a personality trait or some shit. Liking anime doesn't feel like being in an underground cult anymore. Like 60% of teenagers online watch anime in some sort of way. Coming across a nigga with the edgy anime profile picture is pretty common now. And if you are that guy with that kind of profile picture, I just want to let you know that that shit isn't cold. That's like the new emo teenager starter pack profile picture. I don't really got a strong opinion on anime profile pictures. Unless it's some weird shit, I don't really care what you got on. I got one myself, so I really couldn't say shit if I wanted to. Most of them are pretty cool, but you can tell the ones that try to be unique with that shit, with the filters and all that on it. I mean, how many niggas have you met with a Takamura profile picture that's actually funny? And be honest, anime is a lot more common than what it was before. It's mainstream, but not mainstream if you know what I mean. Like it's a lot more normal to see somebody talking about Demon Slayer or something like that. But people don't talk about anime like how people talk about Netflix shows and shit. Like there's still a good amount of people who still see anime as this cringe young teenager face type of thing. One Piece is basically non-existent in the West, even though it's like top 2 all-time comic book ever. It's only behind Superman or some crazy shit like that. In like the past 2 years it grew way more popular, but it's still pretty unknown. At least in the United States, it's rare to see anyone who knows about One Piece. If you asked 100 random people on the street, only like 2 or maybe 3 would even know what it was. I think a lot of people who watch One Piece can relate to this. It's hard as fuck to find somebody who watches it in real life. I already don't know that many people who watch anime, like people you could go up to and ask what they're watching for the season. Not watching Dragon Ball when you're a kid, that shit doesn't count. But then even in that small group of people, only a small handful of people actually watch One Piece. That's mainly why the online presence it has is so big. People come together to talk about it online, to tell each other their thoughts on whatever may be going on. When I used to constantly just think about One Piece, like just theories or random thoughts, I used to eat up hella One Piece content. I would watch theory videos, chapter reviews. I was consuming anything One Piece related. Tekken was one of my favorite YouTubers for a while, and he still kind of is. As far as other anime YouTubers I used to watch, I watched a lot of his One Piece shit. Not that much since like the past year, but I watched most of his videos. I was like a meth addict. I would just eat up anything he posted. But anime just still isn't at that point yet to be mainstream. Only maybe 2 or 3 animes ever got to that point of being that popular. The rest you don't see be talked about outside of a group of people who don't watch anime. I don't really know where I was going with that, to be honest. That was kind of a rant. Basically what I'm trying to get at is people who still have this image that everybody who watches anime is a weeb. I would say I really don't care, but I mean I'm the one talking to a mic and making a whole ass video on it. That's pretty ironic. People have different definitions, but when I think of a weeb, it's basically somebody that wants to be Japanese. Like that one guy that got surgery to look like a BTS member or some dumb shit like that. That dude went to character customization and just min-maxed every detail. Like niggas who think they speak Japanese or want to because they watch anime, for example. For some reason people think I know some Japanese because I watch anime. Some phrases you can hear and understand because it's a common word. But if you're just a regular nigga, you're not learning Japanese from watching anime. I mean, knowing another language would be cool, but I never thought about learning Japanese seriously. If I did, it was for a dumb reason like watching anime with no sub. That and getting free shit from Japanese shops if I went to Chinatown or something. Most people probably seen it already. But there's some YouTubers who speak like 10 different languages, and whenever they go into like a Chinese shop or something and start speaking the language, the shopkeeper gets impressed and they end up giving them free shit. Besides for those 2 reasons, I wouldn't want to know Japanese. It's like the top 3rd hardest language to learn if you speak English. That would be a lot of work for some noodles and a pat on the back. Those guys in the videos aren't weebs, they just learned the language because they thought it was cool. I imagine a weeb being somebody that learns Japanese to be more Japanese, like the BTS guy. And the guys that think Japanese people speak like anime characters, and add those weird speech patterns some of them have. Like niggas in Tokyo are not talking like One Piece characters. I don't really know anything about Japan past the anime stuff, cause I don't be checking up on it like that. Most niggas won't even watch the news for their own cities, so I'm definitely not gonna know shit about Japan. Unless it's some World War III shit, it's none of my business. I don't really care what's going on in Japan. Appreciating a culture is cool, but obsessing over it across the world, especially if you treat it like you came from there, is kinda weird. Alright, not kind of, that shit is just straight weird. And I think Japan lore is really interesting. Some of my all-time favorite animes and mangas are heavy into Japan culture. The Wano arc in One Piece is basically a parody of the Edo period. Basically I'm saying it's cool to learn it, but when you obsess over it, that's when you get into weeb territory. I would say you could obsess over anime culture and not Japan culture and not be a weeb, if that makes sense. Cause anime is at a point where it's an international thing. You meet people across the world who watch it. It's its own thing outside of Japan. Like how people don't associate liking Mario or Nintendo as being a weeb. At the end of the day, it's not that deep. If I did come across somebody who's a weeb online, I wouldn't really care if I'm being honest. I'm not gonna grab them through their screen if they start speaking bootleg Japanese, but it did make a good video topic. If you enjoyed, go watch some of my other shit about anime. That's all I have to say though. Peace.